Things are heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Things are heating up. Niklas Sule, this is for real.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. It's another Chelsea news blitz. Well, not really a news blitz. We're going to go through two particular major topics that's going around at the moment. Not the Athletic article. We've talked about that. We've had a stream. I'm pretty sure we're going to do more analysis on it down the track. But right now, I want to talk about Niklas Sule and Armando Broja. There's a lot of development happening in both of these stories. Niklas Sule, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I know this rumor was circulating around even during Frank Lampard times, but now it looks like it is probably happening because some of the in the knows from Chelsea point of view, your carefree youth in Twitter, whether it be Nathan Giesing from CFC News page, these guys are retweeting some of these, tweets that's been floating around about Niklas Sule, which makes me think that this is happening on a free because Sule apparently is not agreeing on a new contract with Bayern Munich, looking for a new challenge. And at the same time, as you guys can recall, Christensen is not agreeing on a new contract with us, and he's been rumored to going to either Barcelona or Bayern Munich. So let's get straight into this. Let's go through all the news first before we provide our opinion. I have to be honest, Bayern Munich is not someone that I watch on a day-to-day basis, only when it comes to the Champions League. And Niklas Süle is a decent defender. He's more than a decent defender, to be honest. German international as well. So there's a lot of things to like about him. But at the same time, I just thought that there were maybe other players better than him in the market. I mean, I still hope we go for Jules Koundé. I hope we don't miss out on him. Christensen looks like we'll be leaving, and this could be the direct replacement for Christensen. I still hope we get Koundé because Azpilicueta is most likely leaving as well. So I don't want to lose out on Koundé. And then obviously there's a conversation about Levi Colwill, what happens with him. But yeah, Bayern and Germany, this is a particular Twitter account which specializes in German news and Bayern Munich news as well. Niklas Süle is in advanced talks with one unnamed club. An agreement could be reached soon. That was one of the reasons Süle told Bayern before the Hertha game that he will be leaving in the summer. This is from at Kerry_How, chief reporter, sports news about Bayern Munich, and at sports as well. So this is legitimate that Niklas Süle will not be sitting around in Bayern Munich. He's looking for a new challenge. Thomas Tuchel is a fan of Niklas Süle, who is leaving Bayern for free in the summer window. Nathan Giesing, CFC News page. This is, as you all know, CFC News page. When he's talking about these sort of things, there's definitely some value to this conversation. Simon Phillips, Süle to Chelsea heating up. Niklas Süle has rejected a move to Newcastle. So Newcastle's after Niklas Süle as well. This is from Christian Fox. One thing about Christian Fox that I can say is that he's quite accurate when it comes to German sort of news. Any other news, don't pay too much attention. When it comes to German news, 100% pay some attention to his, stuff that he's saying. Next up, we're going to look at Chelsea gave serious consideration on a 30 million move last summer for Süle. Chelsea have wanted him since 2016 and have had contact this month with his representative, and interest could ramp up in the following weeks ahead. Adam News and Football London. So this is, as you can see, it's ramping up rapidly. Shay Lugasi, Barca in connection with Niklas Süle's camp. Despite this, they cannot offer him the terms that Chelsea and several clubs in the Premier League have offered his agent, including a big signing bonus. The club hopes he will agree to come on a reduced salary. Talks continue. So Barca's in the race as well, but they can't match the personal terms. See, this is the thing. A lot of people think, oh, it's a free transfer, so, it doesn't cost anything. There's a thing about big signing bonus. We need to consider these sort of things. We need to think about these sort of things as well. So there's the salary, there's a signing on bonus as well. So it still should come up a lot cheaper than paying the transfer fee. But Barcelona's in the mix, but I don't think they can actually get this done. WhoScored.com, Niklas Sule has the best tackle completion rate, 15 plus attempted in the Bundesliga this season, 94.7%. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't a bad player. He's more than a decent player. And I'm at the moment thinking, let's just give what Thomas Tuchel wants. I know recently I wasn't happy with the Dembele situation, but I'm starting to think it's better to give the manager who they want so that they can be happy with the individuals. So they know that these are the players that they wanted. We've recently had issues with some of our current players not being happy, attackers not being happy with Thomas Tuchel. We have to understand these attackers are not Thomas Tuchel signing. Thomas Tuchel has literally inherited these players. So rather, Thomas Tuchel work with players that he's bringing in. So if he wants Niklas Süle, let's back him. Let's back him with it. And Niklas Süle, German international, starter for Bayern Munich. This is a decent player. Great on the ball. You don't play for Bayern Munich if you're not decent on the ball. Great defender. So I'm okay with this. I'm absolutely okay with this. Fabrizio Romano, official. Niklas Sule will leave Bayern as free agent at the end of the season. Oliver Kahn confirms. The negotiations were long. We made him an offer. Sule didn't accept it. We know that Niklas wants to leave the club at the end of the season. So yeah, it's confirmed. He's not staying at Bayern Munich. Let's have a look at some of his stats now from transfer market. So 26 years old, perfect. Is reaching his prime at the moment, which is a great attribute for us. 1.95 meters, 195 centimeters. So he's tall. He's very, very tall. German international, as I've said. 18 matches appeared in the Bundesliga, 4 in the Champions League, 2 in the DFB Pokal, DFL Super Cup 1. He's an important player for Bayern Munich. He regularly starts, plays 90 minutes, as you can see, all the stats over here. Champions League, have a look at this. Barcelona 3-0. Dynamo Kiev 5-0. Benfica 4-0. Barely conceding Bayern Munich. Twice they've conceded in the Champions League was when he wasn't in the squad. I'm not saying that he's a difference maker, but at the end of the day, he's well versed in knowing how to defend. And in Bayern Munich, they defend. They play with the 2 centre backs. They don't play with 3 centre backs, and they're quite expansive with the way they play. So I'm okay. Honestly, I'm absolutely okay with this. My overall assessment on this particular situation is he's 26. He's hitting his prime. It's a free transfer at the end of this particular season in the summer. Yes, there's going to be a signing on bonus. Yes, there's going to be some sort of wages. Obviously, we're going to have to pay. Could be high, but he's a decent centre back. I'm looking forward to his connections with Silva and Rudiger. And I think he's a very good replacement for Christensen. Christensen looks like he's going to be probably going the other way. So for me, I'm now all on board with backing Thomas Tuchel, 100%. All right, let's look at the next news, ladies and gentlemen, which is about Armando Broja. Understand Southampton are now expected to launch a 25 million record bid for Albanian striker Armando Broja. Proposal to be submitted soon. Let's see Chelsea's position, as Thomas Tuchel is a big admirer of Broja. He's our player, Tuchel said a few days ago. I mean, I'm starting to think Chelsea Football Club, whether it's this month or in the summer, they're probably going to do this. Because they probably can't promise Armando Broja starting minutes as Southampton can. I would hate it. I want this player to be part of the squad. I want him to even start ahead of Lukaku next season, if I'm being honest. Him and Havertz up front, I think, would do madness. These are the academy players we need to keep free. We shouldn't be thinking about selling them and cashing in on them, and probably going to have a buyback clause on them for about 60, 70 million. I mean, it doesn't make sense to make 40 million or whatever the case is on such players. In this case, 25 million from Southampton. I'll show you another bid soon. But we're probably going to have a buyback, which is going to be a ridiculous amount. I don't understand these sort of business, but there could be a logical explanation. Let's look into it. West Ham are plotting a late window move for Chelsea striker Armando Broja, as Southampton want to convert the loan into a permanent deal. So now West Ham, I'm not surprised. All of these clubs are interested. West Ham need a striker as well. Antonio, Mikel Antonio, we don't know how much longer. He's actually on the older side, Mikel Antonio. I think he's on the older side. Let me have a quick look at this. Yeah, 31, Mikel Antonio. So I'm not surprised that West Ham is looking for a particular striker as well. This is what Yannick had to say. It's very interesting. I completely agree with this. Chelsea will be very tempted by the offer for Broja. They love selling academy graduates as free money. And remember, the condition of our accounts currently are not good. We've made a 145 million loss. So they will be tempted. 25 million, 30 million. Wait till I show you what Newcastle's offering. The club just forked out 100 million on a striker who they won't be able to sell. Yes, I want to keep Broja. See, that's the other factor. As much as we think Lukaku at the moment is a bit of a virus, but it's going to be very difficult for us to move him on. 100 million. It will have to be a mega loss on the player. No clubs will be coming in and asking for his signature now. And even if they do, they'll want it for half the price or even less, because they know he's in the mud with us. We're in a tough situation. We won't be able to move on Lukaku that easily, which then makes the whole situation of, you've got Lukaku, you've got Havertz. Well, what happens to Broja? Most likely he's going to be sold. That's what I'm thinking. Chelsea have received a 40 million euros bid from Newcastle United for Armando Broja. Clubs are in contact, but the Blues don't want to sell him this month. 40 million euros, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, Newcastle, they probably want to build a future with Armando Broja. Why not? He's a superb player. He's showing this season what a high-quality youngster he is. Playing like a team in Southampton. It's incredible. It's incredible. The way he played against Man City recently, where Southampton managed to get a draw. He was penetrating that Man City defense. So I'm not surprised. 40 million, if that comes to Chelsea, I think Marino will grab it. I'm just hoping they put a buyback clause on it. But, the whole thing about buyback, you pay 40 million now, you have a buyback for about 50, 60 million. You potentially made a loss on your own player, which is quite crazy. This is the scenario that we have with Livramento as well. We sold him for about 6 million. I think the buyback's about 14 million with Southampton. This is another fancy Catenaccio era on Twitter. Watch people unironically call selling Broja for 25 million with a 50 million buyback and Marina masterclass. Selling a player that we should keep and adding an expensive buyback clause that will cause us to make big financial loss on the player in the future is awful sack-worthy business. I mean, honestly, how does that make sense? How does that make sense that our own player that we're going to eventually buy back? Or are we thinking, let's cash in on him and let's see what happens in the future? We just don't know what will happen to this player. Let's just cash in now. But sometimes, you can't be thinking like that. That's pretty much how it goes with every player. The way I look at it, Chelsea Football Club could do with a player like Armando Broja. Southampton are not, and this is the other sort of side of the coin, I suppose. Southampton are not planning to bid for Armando Broja this month and will wait until the end of the season. Look, whatever the case is, whether it's this month, whether at the end of the season, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're probably going to lose out on Armando Broja. Thomas Tuchel likes this particular player, but he's at a situation where he's not going to stand in the middle of what the board wants to do. The board wants to cash in, make some money, and adjust the books in that way. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And they're not going to be incurring losses on players like Lukaku or Havertz and so on and so forth. Timo Werner would have to go for similar money. 50 million is what we got him for. If he was to leave at the end of this season, he'd have to go for similar sort of money. And yeah, I mean, with us making a loss, don't be surprised if you see more academy players, leaving. Conor Gallagher, as much as we want him, you throw in Shermani, we already have Mason Mount, Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic. Someone would have to give way for Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher is not coming to Chelsea Football Club to just make up numbers. He would want to play as well, or have that feeling that he has a proper chance of making it into the team. So yeah, look, all of this, as I said, don't be surprised. I don't want it to happen, but it may just happen. It may just happen. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about all the news. Niklas Sule heating up. It probably looks like it's going to happen. Armando Broja, how you feel about that? Please comment below. If you've enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see you.